You're ready to launch. You have the offer all set. Everything's looking good. You're so excited. But yet, you don't launch because you're still waiting for permission. Maybe not consciously, you don't realize you're waiting, but something in you isn't launching. You won't move forward until someone else tells you it's okay, until someone approves, until someone validates that you're allowed to do this. Maybe you've mentioned the business to your parents and you're unconsciously waiting for their approval before you actually go for it. Maybe you're looking for a sign from your mentor, coach, or someone else in authority that you really look up to tell you that you're enough, that you can be in the space, that you can do the thing. And if they don't give it, something in your body just refuses to move. The difference between worthiness wounding and permission wounding is important to recognize so that you can properly address it and move forward in your business. A worthiness wound is the belief that you're just not deserving. Even if you tried, you're still not good enough because you don't have that inherent value to be in the space. Permission wounding is the belief that you could be good enough, but you just need someone else to tell you that it's okay. Someone else to tell you that you're actually good enough that you have the right to be in the space. When you have a worthiness wound, you might not try because you believe you're going to fail or feel that you just don't deserve the success because you're fighting that belief about your own value. When you're dealing with permission wounding, you could try, but you're still waiting for someone else to validate your existence in the space. You're looking for that approval. You're unconsciously giving someone else the authority to decide whether you're allowed to actually launch the product, do the thing, be in this business. Worthiness wounds say you're not enough, but permission wounding says you need that permission to be here. And these show up differently in business. And so they're both traumatic. They both require different healing, though. Permission wounding is often created around families where love is conditional. It's based on that compliance and approval. And these are families where a child learns early, I am loved when I follow the rules. I am loved when I do what is expected. I am loved when I stay within the boundaries that are set for me. This is something I dealt with a lot. But I'm not loved for making my own choices. I'm not accepted for diverging from what the parental figures say is okay. I'm not supported when I'm actually myself. It could be a subtle message. Sometimes it's not so subtle. And then it's you are allowed to exist, but only in the ways I approve of. You're welcome in this family as long as you do things my way. Your choices are only valid if they're validated by that authority figure, that caregiver. And what this does to your nervous system, you learn very early on that other people's approval is required for your safety. Your own desires and choices are not legitimate until someone gives you that green light, and that your environment, your own compass is not trustworthy. You have to wait for approval because their judgment's more reliable than your own because they're the ones calling the shots and keeping you safe. Now, how this manifests when you are an adult in business, this shows up as you not being able to launch unless someone else says it's a good idea, or you research obsessively, gathering evidence that the idea is good enough to warrant approval. You get validation from mentors and coaches and family members and friends and everyone under the sun, many of whom are not your actual clients. So that's important to keep in mind. But you can't move forward. It doesn't feel real until that right person gives their stamp of approval. You hold yourself back from visibility until someone gives you permission to be visible. You wait for an invitation to the stage instead of stepping up on it yourself. You wait to be chosen instead of choosing yourself. You underestimate your own judgment consistently, constantly second guessing. You find yourself waiting, always waiting for that permission, for that approval, for that validation that you're allowed to do this. The hardest part is that the person you're waiting for that permission from is likely not going to give it, whether that's the parent, the caregiver, whomever it is that you're wanting, is likely not going to be there. Even if they're not directly involved in your business, you're unconsciously seeking their permission to be enough for your work and for their love, because that's what it's really about, isn't it? Permission wounds masquerade as imposter syndrome, but they're different than imposter syndrome. Traditionally, the imposter syndrome would be, I don't belong here. I'm not qualified. Someone's going to find out I'm a fraud. Permission wound imposter syndrome says, I don't have the right to be here because I haven't been given permission. I'm not supposed to be taking up this space without someone telling me I am able to take up the space. And as soon as someone does, as soon as they give me the green light, I'm good to go. All that imposter syndrome is down. I just needed that permission. I just needed that validation. This difference matters because it changes what's actually going on. And there's power in naming what's going on because then you can change it. Healing a permission wound isn't about forcing yourself to move forward, but it's rebuilding your nervous system's belief in your own power, in your own authority. You have to gradually teach your body that you're allowed to make decisions without external approval. You're an adult. You can do it. Your safety isn't dependent on your caregiver being okay with what you're doing. You're allowed to move forward without permission. You're allowed to trust your own judgment. So this starts small and takes bravery. And trust me, I know, been there, done this, got the t-shirt. But each time you take that action, you make a decision from your own authority, your nervous system gets evidence that you're powerful, that you have autonomy, that you can decide for yourself. Over time, this evidence builds, and your nervous system starts to trust your own judgment. The constant seeking for external permission quiets down. Stop waiting and you start moving. But you also have to grieve. And this is the hard part. You have to grieve that the person whose permission would have made it feel safe may never give it. And that's hard because you know it's not about that decision, but it's what that decision represents. And that's hard because you know it's not about the decision. You know it's about the love that you're craving, but oh, it's so much easier just to make it about the decision. But learning to step into your power is how you start to heal by trusting and loving yourself, re-parenting yourself. You deserve it, and you've been waiting for it long enough. It's scary, but you can do it.